What's up, YouTube? It's Dan from AutoMotivationZ here with another update on my 2019 RS5 Sportback. So I have owned this car for approximately 6 months. It's not 6 months to the day, but it's pretty close. So I wanted to put out a video of what I think of the car. Am I thinking about keeping it? Am I thinking about getting rid of it? And things like that. Now, you know that I have had a 2019 RS5 Sportback before this one. It was black, it was Mythos black. Very nice car. I drove to Chicago to get it, and very nice car. There was one problem with it that I had. One of the drains was plugged in the back back driver's side door. And anytime you'd open the door up after a car wash, there'd be a little water that would come out. Not a huge deal by any means. This car, I did have a problem with the shocks when I first got it, but the dealership said, hey, you know what? We have a problem with the shocks. We're going to take care of it before you even buy the car. So they took care of it. I did actually take the car home knowing that, and then they said that they would, send a person out, grab the car, fix it, and then drive it back, which is fine, which is good. They fixed it, and ever since then, I haven't had really any issues with this car. It's been good. So I really do like the car. My first impressions of this car when I got it, obviously I had already had one before, so I knew what I was getting into. I knew about the engine. It's a 2.9 liter twin turbo with 444 horse, 443 torque. It's a very snappy engine. It gets you where you're going, where you need to go very quickly. And I really do like the throttle response that you get in this car. Now, the exhaust, on the other hand, is very muted. You can hear it a little bit, like, you can hear some crackles that come out of the exhaust, and you do hear it when you get up in the rev band. You'll hear it a little bit where it'll kind of crackle and then switch into the next gear, but very muted. I mean, this car really would benefit from at least a resonator delete, but a full exhaust, like AWE track exhaust, like my normal go-to exhaust, would really wake this car up and make it 100% what I like. We're gonna go into things that I like about the car, and then the things that I don't like about the car. I've had it for 6 months now, which is actually longer than my old my black one that I had. And we're just gonna kind of walk around the car. I'll show you everything that I like, that I dislike, and then we will go from there. Starting off, we'll start off in the interior. I really love these seats, you guys, and I'll take you for a ride here just for a little bit, and pardon the junk in the seat, but you can see we have the RS branded seats, and then we'll get a shot in the back so you can see that. But just a really nice place to be. These seats are very comfortable, to the point where I really like them. I have the S Sport seats also in my S4. The same style seat, is just it said S instead of RS on it, but they're very comfortable. Driving back from Iowa, where I got this from, didn't have any problems. Wasn't uncomfortable or anything like that, and that's about a five and a half hour trip, so that really helped. I really do enjoy these seats. The next is the Bang & Olufsen. Now, obviously I can't show you, I can show you the speakers, but that doesn't really do any good because I can't turn anything up for YouTube. But it's kind of a hit and miss. In this car, the sub seems to be, and just hold on a second, let me get out of the sun here. So there we go. The speakers, they sound okay when you have the sub turned all the way down. Like right now I have the sub turned all the way down, and it sounds better than when the sub is turned on, which is weird. I don't know why it's like that, but it is what it is with this car. My last RS5 that I had, you could have everything turned up, sub turned on and everything, and it sounded great. This car, I would say it sounds mediocre. Without the sub, you don't really have the extra bass added. And I have seen some people on the Audi forum say, hey, you know what, it's because the sub is wired in, it's reverse wired in or something like that. Obviously, you guys know me, I'm not very electrically inclined, so I don't know anything about the lingo, so I'm not even gonna say what I think it is. It's something about reverse polarity or something or other, and there's just an issue with the sub not performing as good as it could. So that's one of the things I kind of like and dislike about it. I mean, it sounds okay. It's better than For instance, my STIs that I've had, the speakers in those have been absolutely horrendous. The stock speakers that I got, like in my Type RA that I had, were terrible. And that was a $50,000 car. And I had the mid-grade radio, and I had the bass speakers from an STI in that. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I've been lucky enough to have lots of cars. I can compare lots of cars, and I can say that this is probably mid-range. When the Bang & Olufsen, I mean, it's good. It's a good system, and you have to spend money to upgrade to it. And I would rather have that than the stock Bose system. But at the same time, if it's not working correctly, I can take it or leave it. So that's on both of the lists. I like it and I don't like it. One of the big things that I really love about this car is the sunroof. I mean, you guys can see the sunroof in the background, and I'm not going to open it because it's kind of hot out and I got the air on right now. But the sunroof is nice. It's so nice to have a sunroof, you guys, especially in Minnesota. Today, it's a gorgeous day, you guys. I'm probably going to take some thumbnails in this car just because it's such a nice day outside. Everything's green. It's finally not raining. You know, it's been raining in Minnesota for the past like 3 weeks. Lots of flooding everywhere. Stay safe if you live in Minnesota next to a river, because it is just terrible. There's flooding everywhere. But yeah, our first nice day in quite a while, probably at least the last 3 weeks. So it's very nice to just get out here and actually have an opportunity to actually make a video. The weather's just been terrible, so I haven't really had a chance to do it. One of the things that I really love about this car, and you guys know this from previous videos, is this instrument cluster. We got the power and torque. We got the center stack with just the center gauge like that, and then the tire pressure sensor right there. And I keep it on that pretty much most of the time. Every once in a while I'll put like the GPS up there. You can put the GPS in one of the corners, and it makes it cool. Like if you have somebody else with you in the car and they want to listen to the radio, you don't have to take up the radio. You can have it right there in your dash, which makes a huge difference. It's actually really nice. I wish every car was like that. Next, for something I don't like, and I know that this was a big thing in the S4, but I don't like that the screen is not a touch screen. I was trying to do some Android Auto directions yesterday, and you know, touching the screen, obviously the screen isn't a touch screen. It makes it a little bit tricky when you have to use the scroll wheel for Android Auto, but you know, you can figure it out. It's not that hard. But the Android Auto portion of it looks really nice. It works really nice. When you hook it up, you got the Google Earth overlay. You don't have to pay $80 a month like Audi will have for just the stock navigation. And the stock navigation in this car is not very good. It doesn't find a lot of places right away, so you have to have the exact address, and even then sometimes it still doesn't find it. But stock navigation is stock navigation, so you know what? Take it or leave it. It's nice to just have a map. Like if I'm lost and I'm trying to find something, or if I'm in a neighborhood and I want to know if there's a through street, I can just pop up, go like this. I go down here, I turn on my nav, and it pops up, the map of where I'm at. So it's very easy to do. It's not hard to do. It's easy. It's reliable. I know that it's always going to be there. And sorry, I got to move forward just a little bit again, just to get out of the sun. There we go. I'm right underneath a power line, and there's a big shadow that casts over the road, so it makes it a little bit easier to see me talk, and to not have sun in my face so I can't see anything. So one of the things that I really thought would be a little bit better in this car is the gas mileage. My gas right now, and I'll pull up my gas app so you guys can see it. Statistics. So we got 22.8 average. My best was 26.4 and my worst was 17.8. And of course, if you guys know, well, comparing that to the S4, 23.7 average. So we're about a gallon under what the S4 was getting, which, you know what, this car is a lot faster than the S4, so I'm okay with that. And of course, you have to buy premium for this car. I only put 93 octane in this car. It's been something that I've done, I don't even know, since like probably 2013. I've been going to BP in Brooklyn Park. And then just recently I started going to BP in Rogers, because they have really good gas there. If you guys are in the Twin Cities area, check out BP in Rogers. It's fantastic. They run out of gas because so many people go there now. Very good. They're in price wars with the holiday station across the street. So it's always nice to see low-priced gas, especially in this day and age when gas is expensive. I paid over $4 a gallon for premium in some places, so that kind of sucks. The next thing that is alike is just the interior in general. Very nice interior. We have the carbon fiber trim around here that goes over there and up to the door, and then same thing over here and up to the door, and it just looks very nice. It's a very nice cabin. It looks high-end, as it should. This stock was probably a $60-some thousand car, maybe even $70,000, and you know, it kind of shows. You have Alcantara inserts on the door, and you have a very nice perforated steering wheel, and it's just a nice place to be. I really do enjoy the interior in this car. Let's go outside for the next one, and I'll show you the color of the car, because the color of this car is really where it's at. So this is Navarra Blue, and you might be able to see it pretty good in the sunshine, and we'll kind of swing over here so you guys can see it. And we got the old blank on there so you can't see the license plate, but this color, you guys, oh my goodness, I love Navarra Blue. This is probably the best color from 2019 that you can get, and it looks so nice, especially when it's clean. It just pops so much, and I really like it. And like I said, we're probably gonna get some thumbnails for this. There we go. It just looks super nice, and I love the look of it, and it looks really nice. And you see the DRLs on in the background. It looks aggressive. It looks just awesome. I really like it. There we go again. Let's get one in the back, just because we never do that. There we go. RS5. And I know I've said this before, you guys, but I really like these 20-inch wheels. So they're the non-black optic version, and I just cleaned these yesterday. I will say, one of the things I like and dislike about the wheels, I like that the silver color, and they don't have the black accents like right here and right in here. They're just silver, and it makes it pop. And I never thought I would say that, because I am a big fan of black wheels, but these look really nice. They work out really nice, and I really like these. The one thing I don't like is that the brake dust on them is horrendous. I have to clean these at least once a week, if not twice a week, just to keep them clean. But I love the wheels. They just look fantastic. And another thing, I'm not going to open the hood, but obviously I love the engine. The 2.9 liter twin turbo is a masterpiece. It's so nice. And of course you have the panoramic moonroof. So that's the outside. Like I said, guys, I really like the color. I think the color just pops. It looks good. It looks so much better than my black one that I had. I mean, the black one was nice. The paint was okay on it, but this one is just, it's so much better. It looks cooler. On to things that I don't like anymore. It's kind of a short list, you guys. I don't like the stock exhaust. Like I said before, I am not a fan of valved exhaust. You guys know this. Any car that I have, I always try to get like an AWE track exhaust or something like that, just because that's just how I am. I have to have loud exhaust, otherwise I'm just bored. So that's one of the things that I dislike about this car. It's a very small list because this car is nice. I'm not gonna lie, there hasn't been any problems really with it, other than the shocks, which I said was replaced by the dealership when I bought it. So we really haven't had any problems. So you guys, would I buy this car again? No. And the reason why is that this is my second 2019 Sportback. They only made this specific B9 style in 2019. 2021 they redesigned it, and it has the new infotainment, the touchscreen, which is good in some ways and bad in other ways. It has different functionality. The gauges are different a little bit, and I wish you could switch back to this gauge in that car. It would make it a lot better. The reason why I wouldn't buy this car again also is it is very, very expensive to mod this car. If I want AWE track exhaust, it's probably gonna run about $3,000 installed. Now, to some people, that's a steal of a deal. It's leaning me towards getting a car again that I am very familiar with. Now, you haven't seen it on the channel, but really thinking about getting a 2020 or 2021 STI. And the reason being is it's aggressive enough in its styling, it's easy to mod. I can buy exhaust for 400 bucks. I can install it myself. It only costs like 400 bucks to get an axle back. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to install, and it sounds good. I mean, an STI is a great sounding vehicle. It sounds fantastic, and it makes life a lot easier, you guys, to be honest. I can install it myself too, which is a really big thing. I don't really like to install exhaust and stuff like that anymore, just because of the fact that, you know, I'm getting older. I don't really like doing that anymore. It takes a lot to do sometimes, especially like on the M5. It took me and my buddy 11.5 hours to do it, because, well, I mean, we're both getting old, and yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. And this point in my life, when I'm 42, I don't really feel like doing that anymore. You know what? I'll pay to have somebody do it instead. For the STI, it's literally like 4 or 6 bolts. I can't remember. It's either two bolts on each of the little hangers, and then you bolt in the new ones. It's very easy to do. You can do it in your garage, no problem, and it transforms the car, absolutely. Is there any other cars that I'm considering right now? I would consider an Integra Type S, but you know, the price of STIs right now is like 38 to 40, and that's really a great price for that car. It's a great winter car, it's a great summer car, it's a great all-around car. It looks cool, it sounds cool, you have fun in it, it's a manual, and it's just something that, you know, this car, there's nothing wrong with this car. This car is great. I'm not gonna say that this car hasn't been fun to drive, because it has, but at the same time, being easy to mod, and, you know, really just, you know, having the fun of going through the gears yourself, it just makes life so much more enjoyable. Now, I just test drove one yesterday just because I wanted to go test drive one, and it was fun. It was fun to drive, and it's something that, you know, a 20 or a 21 has all the improvements from the Type RA and the S209 that came into the regular lineup, and it really just makes the car a lot more livable. Driving it, you know, over train tracks or over bumpy roads or anything like that, it's not like the 2006 where it would jar you out of your chair because the suspension was so stiff in that car. I feel like from 2006 all the way up to 2015, and then eventually the 21 or 2020 really changed the characteristics of that car. So would I consider getting rid of this car? Yes, I would. I've been looking for a couple months. I know that might shock some people to say, oh my gosh, you've only had this car 6 months and you've been looking for a couple months. You guys know me. I get new cars all the time, different cars all the time, and it's something that it is what it is. You guys, you know me. I like to switch around cars, and we might see one on the channel soon. Who knows? So would I buy this car if it's not me? Yes, I would. 2019 RS5 Sportback, you're not going to be dissatisfied with this car. It's very nice. It's economical to a point. It has so much space, you guys. I mean, I can throw a whole bunch of crap in the back seat. My dog fits in the back in the Sportback area and has enough space to kind of, you know, roam around a little bit. And it's just, in general, I love the design of this car. The design looks so good. I don't have any bad things to say about this car. If I hadn't owned 2 of them already, I would consider buying one, just because it is a decent car. Sorry, I gotta keep getting out of the sun. So it is a decent car. It's just I've had 2 of them already, and I'm kind of looking towards my next phase of a vehicle. So that's the reason why I wouldn't buy another one, but I would definitely recommend it for somebody who's looking for a lot of power. It has a decent amount. 444 horsepower is a decent amount of horsepower. You know, the STI coming in at 310, is that going to be a problem? No, it's fine. It's not like I have to have a fast car or, you know, any of that. It's not like that at all. So would I consider, you know, anything else? I'm kind of set on an STI again. You know, the longest time I've had for any car, 40 months, and that was an STI. So I'm thinking that we might go back to an STI just because of the fact that, yeah, it's something that I'm used to, it's something that I know, it's something I know I could mod for relatively cheap, and I really like them. So there's that too. I have seen some without a wing. That's disgusting. I cannot believe who would buy an STI and not have a wing on it or put a wing on it. I just, for me, ridiculous. I can't believe they even came like that. You know, that was an iconic piece of the STI, and people just ruined it with that tiny little chin lip spoiler on the back. I don't like it. Anyways, so you guys, we just hit 700 subscribers. I am so proud to have this channel and to bring you content. I love doing this. I love talking about the cars that I have, the cars that I've owned, and just going through cars in general, doing reviews on cars. Stay tuned for that. I will be doing some reviews here in a little bit because it's summertime. It's the perfect time to do it. And I appreciate all the comments you guys have. Like, for example, there's a gentleman that was buying an S4, was like, hey, you know what, do you like it? I'm picking one up. You know, what do you think about it? Blah, blah, blah. And I just like having, you know, I don't really want to say the camaraderie, but the camaraderie, you know? I mean, it's fun to talk to people about their vehicles that they're getting or that they're thinking about getting, or they're thinking about getting exhaust on their cars and they saw my reviews and they're like, hey, you know, what does this sound like? How does this perform? And it's really fun to just talk to people about cars. Cars in general, I love talking about cars. I probably should be a car salesman, but I'm not. So there is that. So you guys, thank you so much for watching the channel, for taking the time to subscribe. I appreciate everyone that subscribes to the channel. It definitely helps me out. And definitely like the videos. That gets my videos watched by a whole bunch of more people. And it really helps out the channel. You guys, I need 300 more subs. We're gonna get there eventually, I promise. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Bye.